want to retain all of this, okay? We don't want it to go, we don't want it to shrink. We don't want none of that. We don't want our hair to break off just as fast as it's growing, because then what? We not retaining length. We losing it. Hey y'all, it's Sheera. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time, and if you've seen me before, welcome back. Today is a video on length retention for natural hair. Shout out to my natural hair Barbies and Kens out there. This video is basically tending to people who want to retain their length and not see their hair break off as fast as it's growing. So that means that you want to keep your length and you also want to make it grow some more. Grow some more. Grow some more. And just like my last video when I talked about how to grow your natural hair in 1 year, I was eating my hot dogs, so I'm back at it again with the hot dogs. I asked my followers, did they want me to do a video on hair care or a video on length retention, and length retention won, boo, so it's gonna be length retention all day today. Tips on length retention go hand in hand with hair cares, because you have to take care of your hair in order to retain length. You feel me? Like, how you gonna retain your length if you don't take care of your hair? So if you want to think about it as both, you can, it's both. It's basically both. Hair care goes hand in hand with retaining length because you have to take care of your hair. Let's get into these 7 tips on length retention, y'all. So my first tip, this is something new that I've learned, is called dusting. And dusting is basically when you want to go in and trim your hair, but you only trim the parts that are needed to be trimmed. So if you have a big chunk of hair and all that hair is pretty much healthy except for one part, what you're gonna do is take away those parts that's already healthy and you're gonna trim on that one that got the split ends. Don't go trimming your hair just because you're gonna end up cutting off parts that are already healthy, and now it's like you're just cutting your hair off for no reason. And I feel like that's what a lot of professional stylists do. You go in, you ask them for a trim, they're gonna trim that whole thing. They're not just trimming the part that's split. They're gonna make sure it's even. Sometimes that's just not necessary. Just trim the parts that are needed to be trimmed, and then once your hair grows out, you can get an even cut later. You don't have to trim everything because you're just cutting off your hair. That's what dusting is, y'all. Y'all just dusting through, just getting the parts that need to be cut. Not everything, just the parts that need to be trimmed. Tip number 2. See, I didn't take this one seriously, but I'm starting to now that my hair is growing out. You need to sleep with a silk or satin scarf on, y'all. Like, even if you're a lazy natural and you don't tie your hair up usually, just take your satin scarf and you lay it on your pillow before you go to sleep, and you sleep on it like that. Because sleeping on cotton, it really can make your hair like more dry than it already is. Like, and I know a lot of people with 4C, what is it? 4C or C4, whatever. 4C hair, like me, like this really coarse, really curly hair, it's easy for your hair to get dry, and cotton only dries your hair out even more. And then when you wake up, you might wake up with little knots in your hair and it'll start to split up the shaft. So we don't want that, boo. Sleep with your satin or your silk scarf on and call it a day.
We interrupt this program to bring you
this hot dog is so good. It's Frank's. It's from Frank's. I can't get enough of these hot dogs. They're so good. Tip number 3. Do hair treatments. So doing hair treatments means you're doing hot oil treatments, you're doing hair masks, and you're also doing heating caps. Y'all, I told y'all about the heating cap in my how to grow my hair video, which is linked below. Go check out that video. Don't wait, y'all, because some of these tips can go hand in hand for length retention. Heating caps has grown my hair out. Like, y'all, when you're treating your hair, even if you're lazy, you don't gotta treat your hair all the time. I say you should treat your hair at least twice a month, especially if you always wearing protective hairstyles, you're always wearing wigs. When you take that wig off, boo, and you wash your hair, you need to treat your hair with a hot oil treatment. They got oils at the dollar store: tea tree oil, coconut oil, almond oil. Like, they have the oils at the store for $1. Dollar Tree. I don't know about, no, it's Family Dollar. I don't know if Dollar Tree have it, but Family Dollar sells the dollar oils. The hair stores sell it. They're really good. Like, all you have to do is get a bowl of water, heat that water up, you put your oils in there. Leave them in the capsule. Don't take them out and dip it in the water. You're gonna dip it in your hair, but you're just heating up the oils first. So get the oils nice and hot. You put it through your hair, distribute it really nicely. You put a cap on, and then you put your heating cap on. You sit under that bad boy for 15 to 30 minutes, whichever timing you choose. Let it soak into your hair. Feed your hair, because your hair is like a plant. It needs to be fed. And once you do that, boo, you good. Like, and then the same thing goes for hair masks and things like that. I'm gonna do a video on a Indian clay mask on my hair. That's gonna be nice, because I've seen a lot of natural girls do that on YouTube, and that it really helped define their curls and add nutrients to their hair. A lot of people even use egg in their hair, or when they're doing their treatments and masks on their hair, they use egg, like a raw egg. They crack it and they put it throughout their hair, and it gives your hair protein and it helps it grow. So things like that are very important. Tip number 4. When you're detangling your hair, it's really important to comb through the roots first. This will really help with length retention, because if you comb through your roots first, like,
Say what?
By roots, I mean really, I really meant to say, I didn't say roots. I meant, always do this. I meant to say the ends of your hair. Comb through the ends of your hair first. You see this curl? You see how that thing is like really kinky curly? When I'm detangling my hair, what I would do is comb through that bad boy first. Take that end, comb. Then we're gonna make our way up to the top. Because if you go from the top down, you're gonna be like splitting a lot of your hair. It's just not gonna be good, y'all. It's not good to do that. Just comb through your ends first, and then go back up and go through. Your life will be so much easier when you do that. I promise you. I promise. And you're gonna retain your length. Your hair isn't gonna break off like that. Just take your time when detangling your hair. Tip number 5. When you're drying your hair and you're putting heat to your hair, always start from the roots. And I meant the roots when I said it this time. Start from the roots. Do not start from your ends when you dry your hair. Because what happens when you dry your ends? They dry really fast. Your ends of your hair dries the fastest. So you don't want to hit the ends of your hair first, because they will break off when they get too dry. That's what they do. The ends be like, ain't nothing to cut that off. Snip, snip. Snip, snip. That's what your ends be saying. Like, it ain't nothing to cut that off. So you don't want them to go, because you want them to retain. You want them to be there, strong, heavy hitters. We don't want them going nowhere. We want our ends. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the roots of the hair, and we dry it. We got the dryer right here. And when the roots start getting dry, then we make our way to the ends, because we know the ends going to dry like that. That's how you retain length, honey. Right there. Drying from the root first, and then you make your way to the ends, because we want to keep them babies. Tip number 6, y'all. We almost to 7. Tip number 6 on length retention. Number 6 is taking vitamins. Now, vitamins really help with hair growth, because a lot of vitamins are antioxidants, and they provide your hair with nutrients that you can't get from just eating food. So a good vitamin that I heard about to take for retaining length and growing your hair is vitamin E. It's an antioxidant that repairs your hair and restores your hair follicles, and it also promotes hair growth. So that's vitamin E, y'all. I'm about to add it to my regimen on growing my hair, so I'm gonna let y'all know how that go. But I've heard one of my natural beauties say that vitamin E, and I've looked it up myself, vitamin E is a great vitamin and a supplement to take when you're trying to retain your length and also grow out your hair. Boom. Don't say I ain't tell y'all. Okay, and the last tip on how to retain length, y'all. We want to retain all of this, okay? We don't want it to shrink. We don't want none of that. We don't want our hair to break off just as fast as it's growing, because then what? We not retaining length. We losing it. All right. So this is my favorite number 7. The 7th tip is to use extra virgin olive oil. Now, I'm not going to say this tip is for everybody because everybody's hair is different. Everyone doesn't like to use certain oils, but for my 4C girls, I would say to use extra virgin olive oil. And I can speak on this for myself because I used this oil when I was going through my TWA stage. If y'all don't know what the TWA is a teeny weeny afro. I used extra virgin olive oil and it locks in my hair. Like, my hair gets really dry, so when I use this oil, it'll be on my hair for a whole week. My hair don't just suck this up like it does any other oil or the softy grease or whatever other grease I be using in my hair. That grease doesn't stay in my hair, but the extra virgin olive oil, what? When I go take out my braids from my wigs and stuff, that oil's it's coming off of my hands, and I'll be like, oh, you still there? You hanging in there, huh? And that's a good thing because that means my hair isn't dry, and that means that my hair is getting food and my hair is also growing. So extra virgin olive oil is really good. And look, I went from the teeny weeny afro to boom. We not teeny weeny no more. We like middle squeezy, but still, we still growing. You feel me? Gotta take care of your hair. Thank you, y'all. That's my 7 tips for length retention. And as I said, that also goes hand in hand with hair growth. So, hair care. You have to take care of your hair in order to what? Retain length. It's easy as that. So thank you, my babies, my loved ones. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope it either adds to your hair care routine or it helps you in your hair growth journey. I hope to see you guys in my next video, and hugs and kisses.